Joel Embiid just locked up the MVP award. Joel Embiid and the 76ers just played against the Celtics, and Embiid put on a monster performance during the last week of the season, where every game matters in terms of seeding. All of the eyes are on this week in the NBA because we're just counting down the days until the playoffs. And Joel Embiid, who is in MVP conversations, just put up a statement performance. Embiid put up 52 points against the Boston Celtics, who in the last 2 weeks have been the best defense in the NBA, and the Sixers scored a total of 103 points. Joel Embiid scored more than half of his team's own points against a team who's one of the best in the league, one of the best in the Eastern Conference, and quite frankly, a team that they might have to run into and go through if they want to win a championship. If the Sixers are going to make a deep playoff push, they're most likely going to have to play the Celtics, and considering their history with the Celtics, how a couple years ago in the bubble, the Celtics swept them. The Celtics have seemed to have the 76ers number in recent years. And so for Embiid to come out and put up this kind of statement performance, in my opinion, it solidifies his MVP case. But before we get into that, I want to thank you guys so much, because yesterday on this channel, we just hit 100 subscribers. So I want to give a personal thank you to you guys. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, make sure you guys go down below, like the video, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep on running up the likes and all that. Thank you guys so much, and let's get right into the video. So this season, Joel Embiid is leading the league in scoring. He's averaging 33 points per game, which is the most by anybody in the league. He's doing that at a very efficient 54% from the field. He's also averaging 10 rebounds per game. Not only that, but he's led the 76ers to the third best record in the NBA. They're the third seed in the Eastern Conference. They're, in my opinion, one of the top tier teams in the NBA. And he is their leader. He's the engine that keeps that team moving. And not only that, but Joel Embiid also has the sixth most clutch points per game in the NBA. And it really says a lot, because when they have a guy like James Harden and a scorer like Tyrese Maxey on this team, they look to Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid, down the stretch, is their guy who closes games for them. And there's not that many centers in this league currently that are that guy for their team. Also, Joel Embiid, as I previously just said, he's the power that keeps this team moving. He has the second highest usage rate in the entire NBA, only behind Giannis. One thing that I wanted to highlight about Joel Embiid this year is that historically we've kind of looked at Joel Embiid as a player, he's kind of injury prone. I don't like to label players as injury prone, but he's kind of one of those guys who most of the time it just kind of seems like he can't really stay healthy. And this season, he has stayed healthy for the majority of the season. He's had a couple nagging injuries here and there, but for him to be able to continue through this entire season playing at this level, it says a lot. And since people constantly knock Joel Embiid for how he seems to can't stay healthy, I think we should acknowledge that this season he's kind of put that to bed, at least for this season. He's played great. He has the second highest usage rate in the NBA. And so when you're putting those kind of miles on a body who is, historically injury prone, I think we should acknowledge and sort of praise the fact that he's been able to do this for such a long period of time this season. And another reason why I think Joel Embiid is going to be the MVP, this is not why I think he should be the MVP, but I think this is one factor that is going to help him win this award, is that a lot of the times the MVP is very narrative based. A lot of the times the voters and the NBA media tend to prioritize the story or the narrative over actual on-court play. And considering that the two guys that Joel Embiid is running against for the MVP are Giannis and Jokic, and both of those guys are two-time MVPs, I think that is going to sort of help Joel Embiid's MVP case just a little bit more, because the point that I want to make is that I also think that the voting fatigue or voters fatigue is going to come into play, and that's going to hinder Jokic, in my opinion. Joel Embiid has also been one of the best long mid-range shooters in the league this season, specifically for the center position. According to cleaningtheglass.com, which is a advanced statistics site that I like to use, Joel Embiid is actually in the 100th percentile for big men in mid-range shooting. And that's taking into frequency and efficiency. And he's really kind of expanded his game a little bit more this season. Obviously, we know the interior force that he's been pretty much his entire career, and he's continued to be that interior, dominating presence on the inside. But for him to expand his game a little bit more and more, that just makes it even harder for you to consistently be able to stop him or to slow him down. The farther that his range extends, it's just going to be harder and harder to stop him. To end this video, I do want to point out and acknowledge the fact that in the last couple seasons, we really have seen a renaissance for the center position. For a while, it was kind of looking like, I mean, people have pointed this out before, but for a while, it was kind of looking like the dominant big men were kind of going to be phased out of the game, and we were either going to be going more towards the big man prototype that's really just there to, set screens, roll to the basket, rebound, protect the rim, or just going small ball. We're just going to put a 6'8" power forward at the center position, and we're going to stretch the floor, be able to shoot the three. It kind of looked like most teams were either using one of those two sort of archetypes of centers. But seeing Jokic and seeing Embiid, and I don't know if you want to count Giannis as a center. I wouldn't count him as a center, but some people would throw Giannis into sort of this big man renaissance. We have guys like Domantas Sabonis. The center position has really come alive in the most recent years, and I really appreciate that. And I like to see it. I like to see players expand their game and sort of change the narrative about an entire position, really. And Joel Embiid and Jokic have been the catalyst of that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Go down below, leave a comment, and let me know who you think the MVP is. Do you think it's Embiid? Do you think it's Jokic? Do you think it's Giannis? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys leave a like, and if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers, and I'm out of here.